All right. Welcome out to tonight's emotional health workshop. We're excited that you're here. Um, we have prepared for this for all of 3 days because we thought so much that everyone is needing emotional support right now. And it's probably more for myself, but um, the world is stressed. Let's talk about it. So let's see how we can healthily um, get through some of the things. And it really helps our kids too when we're able to be on top of our emotions. So um, let's dig in a little bit. We have I am Kim Allen. I'm from Idaho actually, and we decided to move to Tennessee to build up our doTERRA essential oils business. And also our kids were young. We have 4 kids now. Porter is our oldest, and Grayson, and then Hazel and Audrey were actually born in South Carolina. So 2 Idahos and 2 Carolinas. We always wanted to live by the beach, and that's definitely caught our attention. So we've been here about 7 years in South Carolina. And so we have loved it so far. And I do feel the pull back to Idaho. So my mom would like that, I'm sure. But I have done and worked with doTERRA essential oils almost 11 years. On Porter's birthday is actually my anniversary. And the story with that is it was empowered us so much because I went to an event similar to what we're doing online, but just in person. And I was able to look up infertility because we were struggling at that time. And they had suggested some things that I do. And so we tried them, and we were able to get on the vitamins, and we did a cleanse and use clary sage oil. And after that combination, shortly after, we were able to get pregnant. And so that was very empowering for us. I mean, we were able to start a family, and you can see we didn't stop very much. So it was a lot, but the sanity of the oils has kept me going, and it's very helpful for us. We'll click here. I just want to introduce some of the other wellness advocates that might be on the call that are empowering others with essential oils and in their own specific passion that they love. So this is my mom, actually, Cherie Porter, and David Porter. But my mom's very holistic all my life, and like sharing different things as I grew up. And she kind of got me into it. And when I found doTERRA, it was like, okay, everything clicked. This is exactly what we need and looking for. She's very big into the non-toxic lifestyle because my older sister, all the toxins aligned in her body to give her something very similar to Parkinson's disease. And she was suffered for a long time from muscular issues. And so the toxins we need to get them out, right? Chelsea Dietrich, she's on the call right here, and she's a holistic nutritionist. She has 4 kids. She lives in South Carolina at this point. And we met about a year and a half. I don't even know if it's been a year and a half, but we've become pretty tight friends. And I don't know, it just snowballed from there. We were just very much in line with the natural lifestyle. And then Tanner, I don't think she's feeling well, so you may not see her on here. But she is very much into natural health and gentle parenting. She's a coach for that. And so we'll get moving into the good stuff here. So have you ever heard of the thought cycle? I actually want you to put in the chat, by the way, where you're from, where you're on here from, so we can see where everyone's from. But the thought cycle was introduced to me. Have you ever read Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich? He talks about it in there, and this is a little diagram of it. So our thoughts are what create our feelings, and we have them, a lot of them, all the time, about 80,000 thoughts in our subconscious mind. And so a lot of it can just be programmed, and it creates our feelings, which creates our behavior, which then reinforces our thoughts and actions to then reinforce more of what we're thinking about. Okay. So when we have a thought, that actually wants someone to share like a thought pattern that they've seen in their life. Mine, while I'm doing this, and you can put it in the chat, mine is usually that no one listens to me. I have 4 kids. No one listens to me. That runs through my head a lot. And so then that creates a lot of frustration sometimes when I'm thinking that, because it's just an automatic one right now for me. And so you can feel like hurt or frustrated, usually is my go-to feeling there. The behavior that comes from that, I can be really quick to get mad at them and quick to anger. And then it creates more of what I don't want, where no one's listening to me. And so that's where the thought cycle kind of goes to. Let me see here, just make sure. Hello, hello. And so I want to know, do you have a thought pattern that comes up a lot? Put it in the chat or unmute yourself if you would like and share it with us, because it's really powerful to like recognize our emotions and our thought cycles. So what happens is, let me see, there's someone in the waiting room, sorry. Our emotion cycle, this is the most empowering thing that I have learned in the past few years, is that it actually takes 90 seconds to process an emotion in our body. So when you think of an emotion, it's actually when you think a thought and then we feel something in our body, it's actually just a chemical reaction. If you've ever had an anxiety attack, it usually we're up here and we're freaking out and thinking more thoughts about the anxiety or shame and blame. Why am I doing this? What is going on? What is happening? And we keep spiraling out of control. But if you think about it, it takes 90 seconds to process your emotions. So in the book, 90 Seconds to Emotional Freedom, it talks about when a person has a reaction to something in their environment, there's a 90-second chemical process that happens in the body. After that, any remaining emotional response is just a person choosing to stay in that emotional loop, that thought loop that I talked about. And I've been there many times. Anybody else been there? And so it's great news because we can move through it. We have more control than we think. And it's a practice. There's no shaming. So when it comes up, be like, huh, that's interesting. And we'll show you some tips on how to process through that. But it's something that you can do. I don't know if you guys can see this here. I don't know how to just show my little face here. Oh, well. You can ask yourself, where is it in my body? I helped someone with this the other day. They weren't able to calm down and go to sleep or rest in the middle of the day when they were having anxiety, and kind of talked to her about this a little bit. I said, well, where is it usually in your body? Do you guys know when you have anxiety or stress? Do you know where it usually is? Is it in your throat? Is it in your stomach, like a gut punch to the stomach? Is it in your chest, tightening in your chest? So identify where is it in my body and what does it look like? What color is it? Is it like green sludge that's moving through your? It sounds weird, but if you identify it and you can also give it a name, this is powerful for kids. I told a friend this once. Her son was throwing up before he would go to school every single day. And I was like, oh my goodness. And so she told him to give it a name when the feeling came up in his stomach. And he did, and it helped him empower him. Just give it a name. It's not taking over me. This is something that is just a chemical reaction going on. Usually mine's in my throat, like the throat chakra area. And so, and we'll show you how you can actually use oils, essential oils, to move through those chemical reactions quicker in our bodies. And then breathing through your nose, using the oils and using all of your senses. This is something to empower you that helps you move through that emotion. I do want to point out the amygdala gland. You're learning a lot more than you probably thought you wanted to here. But okay, I think we're good there. The limbic system in our brain, there's an amygdala gland here that's behind our olfactory system. So when can you see my pointer on there? Chelsea, can you see my pointer? Okay. When we smell something, it actually can trigger the amygdala gland, which is our emotion center of the brain. So it's the major processing center for emotions. This is why aromatherapy is so powerful for the brain, because it can access this amygdala gland and help to process, brings things up to the surface. So sometimes you might have different thoughts and like, oh, I haven't thought of that in a long time. And then you can work through these tips that we're going to show you to help to release those. But it's a big part of our brain. When we think of all the emotions that we feel on a daily basis, I want you to type in the chat, what's one emotion that you have felt in the last week over here? Stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, unfocused. I have that one a lot. Like no clarity, sad, stuck. What's something that you guys have been feeling? Something that I felt today getting this ready was stressed. I was like, oh, I'm doing my own workshop here. Let's see here. Yeah, overwhelmed is a huge one. Davina, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I see everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining. Good to have you guys on here. So overwhelmed is more of like feeling all of the feelings and not processing through that. So that's a huge one for a lot of people that causes the stress. A lot of these go together, don't they? And Chelsea, are you able to, do you see my chat? I don't know how to do this very well. Anxious and overwhelmed, overstimulated. Do you have a lot of kids, you guys? Sometimes we're overstimulated because there's a lot going on around us. There is this emotion wheel, and I'll talk more about the oils in a sec, but let's say we're feeling anxious. What's the opposite of that? Probably grounded or peaceful. It's showing you what oils that you can reach for. So the fir trees, anxious, you want to feel maybe comforted, or you can see here, let's see, if you want to feel like you have a lot of negative thoughts rolling on in your brain, go for the mint or citrus. I like them both together, which I will show you. So you can see this wheel is really cool. You can take a screenshot of it if you want, that you can see what to reach for when the triggered emotion comes to you. Overwhelmed is probably something you want to feel like grounded and peaceful. I'll show you one in a second on that. Essential oils are pretty powerful because of how they can affect your brain. I just want to stress something about stress. But let me see if there's anything else in here. Yeah, restless. Yes, I will show you some things for that, okay? Welcome, Marcos. Okay. Boa noite. I was trying to figure out how to speak Portuguese for a second. The common effects of stress that's not health, I think it meant dealt with, can lead to many health problems such as high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, obesity, and diabetes. How many times have we heard those are like the top problems going on that people have issues with, and they're dying from those things. So when inhaled, the scent molecules in essential oil travel from the olfactory nerves directly to the brain, and especially impact that amygdala gland and the emotion center of the brain, from Hopkins medicine. So it's well known what the oils can do for you. Oils. You see, I lived in the South for too long. I can't even say oil anymore. Yeah, energy is a huge one. So I do want to share a little bit about the brand that I am talking about today. doTERRA's brand is the top brand in the world. And the reason why I want to mention this, I'm usually not as bold talking about other companies' brands. I'm like, oh, do your thing. But this year they came out with some testing that I actually worry if you're using another brand. They tested all of the birch oils. You can see a lot of companies that are well known. There's a big one out in Utah where we're also at. But they took all the birch oils and they have this special testing. It's very expensive. And they tested all these birch oils, and guess how much of them actually had birch in them? What's your guess? There are 14 oils here. Not one company or one drop of oil in those was birch oil. Not one. So they can synthetically create it. They can say what they want to on the bottle. What they did was chemically make it look like birch. Wintergreen, I actually have wintergreen, I just used it. Wintergreen is very similar plant to birch oil. Birch, they're both very helpful for relaxing muscles, which is not what we're talking about tonight. But what they found in some of those was synthetic chemical compound to make it look like birch. So they inserted it. And then also they found expired aspirin in some of these brands. So not great. So I do like to speak out now about this because of the testing that's come out. And I just assure you that we're the top brand in the world. The purity matters, and where they source it, how they source it. Ours you can take aromatically, and I'll show you some ways to use oils aromatically. We can use them topically on our bodies, and it's safe to do so. I'll show you which ones are maybe more sensitive to your skin, which will have this sign on it. And then internally, which I would not suggest with any other brand. There's people that have been a little bit sick from doing that. But ours, like peppermint oil, you can put in tea, and you can take a lot of them internally that say that on the bottle. They have supplement facts on them. Did anyone have any thoughts before I say again? Let's see. Okay. I can't see everybody. Let me see. Wild orange is one of my favorite oils. I use it a lot. I do a lot of make and take classes, and I think it's out. Here it is. This is one that I love to use aromatically for my anxious feelings and calming my system down. You can actually, I didn't put the internal sign on it, but you can drink this. It has supplement facts on the side. So you want to dilute this in water. But the power of it, you can tell from essential oils, is 1 drop of peppermint tea, or I mean, 1 drop of peppermint oil is equal to 28 cups peppermint tea. So 1 drop of oil goes a long ways. And in the bigger bottles, there's 250 drops in these. And so you can use it for quite a long time. It's pennies per drop. They're very affordable. When you think of buying all the bottles at once, it lasts a long time. So they're very affordable and they last a while. But essential oils helps with fear, anxiousness, and it's very uplifting. And let's see, and it helps with inflammatory response when taken internally. And we source from all over the world. So this is from, I believe this is Madagascar. I can check on that. But has anyone smelled wild orange? Put in the chat. We're actually going to do a giveaway at the end. And if you put in the chat some comments, I'll be able to do a giveaway in a little bit. Have you ever smelled wild orange? It's from the rind, so it's more alkaline for you. I love it. It's incredibly amazing and very, very powerful in a little bottle. Now I talked about peppermint. I don't know how to move this this thing. I'm really good at Zoom, guys. Peppermint oil is one of the more popular bottles that's used. When you smell this, people actually have used this during studying, so then they can retain the information because it helps with focus. And peppermint oil can help with respiratory issues. So you can use this aromatically. So you can rub in your hands. You can put in a diffuser. You can use it internally when you're drinking it to help with digestion. And you guys can put way more things in the comments. I know there's a lot of tips that these leaders have. And so get the tips and stories from the comments too. Yes, wild orange, everyone. Doina, I'm going to put wild orange in your hand and you're going to smell it tomorrow. Just kidding. I will run you some samples though, Doina. And again, one drop is very powerful. This one is a little more sensitive because it's a cooling effect in the system. So you don't want to get it in your eyeballs. If you do, you just put a little coconut oil on and like help wipe that out. But the feelings that are supported that it can help you get rid of are fear and anger. Again, with I feel like it helps to waken my senses up. And so I like to combine it with wild orange and peppermint. So what I do is, and you can right now, if you guys have some, do you have some at your house? Take a drop of peppermint and orange if you have it. You can grab all your oils right now while you're thinking about it. If you have it, put a drop in your hand. I hear my kids. They waking up. I'm being too loud. Don't tell them I'm here. Okay, this is gonna wake me up. So you can, this is an aromatic way to use the oils. If you've never done it this way before, in the palm of your hand, close your eyes, cup over your nose, and you can inhale through your mouth too, to get that airway open. You can't see what I'm saying here. But I love how invigorating this is. This is my energizing blend that I love to use. And it's citrus and mint together. Thinking of going back to that wheel, it's calming and also energizing at the same time. So this is how I like to use that. All right. Chelsea says, we gave a peppermint to a sick friend at the park the other day, and she said she could breathe again. Yes. And it's also in our Breathe blend. It's very potent and powerful and cooling, and I love it. If you put some in your mouth, it's like 10 Altoids all at once. So here's a topical way I want to talk about balance. Is so incredibly soothing. If you've ever had an aroma touch massage, which most of you probably have not, but my mom gave me an aroma touch massage. That's another class for another day. You can't even see what I'm doing right here. So this has black spruce, holy frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, essential oils, osmanthus flower, and it has a little coconut oil in it. So it's safe to use topically and aromatically, but this is not one we would do internally. So you can put one on your wrist, but what I want you to do, if you have it, if you don't, just do the exercise with me anyways. So this is something, I do not know how to highlight my own thingy. So, how do I highlight myself? I want to make me bigger so that I can show you what I'm about to show you. I'll just show everyone. It's Chelsea and me right here. All right. So what you can do is put a drop of balance in your fingers. So one time I was having a literal breakdown. A lot of my stories on here about my breakdowns. So I hope I'm not alone in this. But there was a lady that my friend in this company told me to call, and he knew I was having a breakdown. And so I called her and she said, and I didn't want to answer. Actually, she called me and she said, pick up the phone. And so I did. And she said, go get your balance oil. And we're going to do this together. So you take your fingers, even if you don't have the oil. Okay. It smells so grounding and very earthy. What you're going to do is take your fingers to the opposite temple. Okay. Looks a little weird, but what this does, and you're going to rub your temples. And I think this is the next slide, actually. Yeah. So this is the crossover. It's activating your right and left side of your brain. And so you can do it softly. You can do it if you feel like a headache coming on. What that does when you cross over, your brain has to activate and think a little bit more. You can also grab your earlobes if you're able to. I love how I look right now. And then while breathing in the oil, you can put a drop in your hand and again, breathe aromatically. But that's something that you can do to get your brain out of, if we're in a cycle of something, it can kind of cross over and it helps calm your brain down because it's thinking of something else to do. Okay. But balance oil is one of my favorites in the Aroma Touch massage that I was explaining. I have never felt so calm. My mom put this on first and I just melted. And she put it on my spine, up my back, and I just melted into the table. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so relaxed. So this is something that is calming and grounding. You think of the tree oils that are in there, it's going to really, really ground your body, your nerves, your brain. So that's a really good one to have on hand. We're going to talk about the power of breath. My mom is going to come on in a second. So let me see if I can find her. Cherie, let me know when you're ready. Cherie mother. I'm getting ahead. What's happening? All right. So the power of breath. I'm going to read a little bit about this. Controlled breathing helps to stimulate your nervous and cardiovascular system, so it can help alter our physical and mental health states. We can stimulate the rest and digest response managed by our parasympathetic nervous system. So breathing is actually really good, and we don't take enough deep breaths in our day. When I think about taking a deep breath, I'm like, oh, what have I been doing? So I want everyone to take a deep breath right now. And if Cherie, hello, mom, if Cherie would like to share a little bit with us, we're going to talk about breathe oil. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Are
Okay.
you?
Yeah, can you do the video? Just
You think you have to?
I tried. It looks like everybody doesn't have video on their um I
You
don't
can
know.
do it. I think you have to do it.
Video settings. Video.
Yeah, the Zoom settings disappears when you have like to tap the phone so it can pop up.
Thank you, friend.
Say that again.
Tap your phone and then your Zoom setting will come back up, she said.
I'm on my
On the
computer.
bottom. Oh,
Okay, so move your cursor around on your face or on your name, Cherie, and see.
Okay. Sorry, I don't want to take too much time.
Can you touch the top three dots in the right-hand corner?
Yeah, so stop video, rename and remove pin. Should I put stop video?
Should say start video.
Yeah, I don't know why it says the same for me. Stop video.
It's okay. I don't want to take any more time, but I'll just
we can
talk.
talk.
So yeah, so the breath is very powerful for us, and I think what happens when we have anxiety or stress or something, it makes us so we can't breathe. And I'm similar to Kim on where my chakras are blocked, and it's always my throat. If I feel stress or something, it's always in my throat. And so breathe oil just is very powerful to open up our lungs and our air passages because they get restricted. And so when we don't let the air in, our emotions can't be released. So a lot of times, the emotions are grief or fear, stress, or all the emotions everybody already typed in there. So Breathe has these. She's got this great slide here, these oils in it, and the main one that I appreciate in there or whatever, well, both of the peppermint and the eucalyptus, but the eucalyptus is an emotional oil, and it has a lot to do with our health symptoms and a lot of our emotions. And so it's very releasing for those emotions. So we need to just open up. So the negative emotions that we talked about already, the positive, I don't know, despair, grief, sadness, but the positive ones are um, feeling loved and supported, and that we are you know, an important person on this earth, and just that we need to heal the negative emotions that we have. So the fastest way to do that is to breathe. Like Kim said, the amygdala gland in our brain is the most powerful way. So aromatically is the most powerful way for emotions to get that to the emotional area. The fastest is to breathe it. So if you have some breathe right now, we're going to do a little um, walk you through a breathing process. So the breathe oil, there's I wish you could see me, but there is a breathe roll on touch, they call it. There's the breathe bottle that Kim showed you, and then there's also a breathe vapor stick. So if you have respiratory issues, you can use that. It's kind of like Vicks, but Vicks is petroleum based product. So I don't use anything like that that has petroleum base to it. So doTERRA, I'm thankful, came out with this breathe stick, which is amazing. So I just want you to put a little on your heart chakra or over your heart right now and the back of your neck. And the back of your neck has three indentions in it. There's kind of a one really indention in the center. Kim, can you show us the back of your neck? Yeah, so there's one in the middle, and then there's kind of two just below there, if you feel there. Those are the main fastest ways to get it to your amygdala. And so, um,
Could you see that?
uh-huh. If you guys can just kind of feel around back there, you know, you have that big one in the
It's
center.
called, yeah, it's like the occipital triangle. You have
Possible
like,
triangle. Yeah, and so there's the main one, and then just come back, just there's a tendon there on either side, and then there's two little indentions, but wherever you put it, it'll be great. Anyway, so the benefits of doing what we're going to do is a breathing technique is to increase the oxygen in your bloodstream. And as you increase the oxygen in the blood, your body is able to heal and detox, and your bowels move and things like that. So it's just a great way to increase the oxygen. And then it also increases your lung capacity. I had this at the gym and gave it to a guy, and he went swimming, and he came back and he just like, I'm going to buy that bottle from you right off here. It was already used and open. He could hold his breath longer when he swam. It was just a crazy experiment to do. But anyway, so just knowing that your respiratory can improve, and a lot of people get off, respirator or inhalers and things, and then just energy flow. So we have energy flowing through our body constantly. So we need to open up that so that things can get through and move. Like she talked about your um, yeah, the gland, what do you call anyway,
you
lymph
want
nodes,
the,
lymphs, and just your meridians are open. So, okay, so if everybody will just do a little exercise. I wish we could see everybody, but we can't.
I know.
It's okay. But let me so
Yeah.
I just want you to sit up. We're going to do just a breathing exercise. So just sit up, kind of pay attention to your posture. Put your, shoulders and your elbows back a little bit, just so you have that openness in your posture. Let it chin up a little bit. Make sure that your spine is long and straight, kind of reaching your head up kind of to the ceiling. I mean, not tipping it up, but anyway. And I want you to close your eyes and your mouth, and we're going to do an inhale for 10, and um, we're going to hold it for 7, and then inhale or let it out. And as you let it out, I want you to purse your lips and just kind of very contemplatively exhale through your lips. Okay. We'll do that 3 times. And I want you to make sure that it's not just in your chest, upper chest, but in your diaphragm, like you're really concentrating on your abdomen area expanding. So, all right, close your eyes. I'm going to inhale for 10. I'll let you guys count. Okay, make sure your abdomen's
I
extended.
can't breathe
Hold
in
it.
for 10 very well.
You need to do this more often.
You're right.
Okay, hold it for 7 and then exhale. Let's try it again. So let me just count with you on the
You count,
first one.
yeah.
So inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold for 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale slowly, steady. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we're going to do it one more time. Inhale 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. And so what that does is you can think of doing this when you are stressed or when you're having anxiety or you have overwhelm, anything. If you can think of this little exercise just really quickly, it's something you can do anywhere. You're just going to stop and pause and you're going to do this. So anyway, that's all I had. So
Thank you. I actually feel much calmer. Sometimes, I mean, I wasn't able to hold it that long for some reason.
okay.
But it is good to, I've done box breathing before where you go
Mhm.
in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Wait, what do you do? Hold. Oh, hold it out for 4.
Oh,
In, hold, out, hold. And it's like
yeah,
a breathing. So I
yeah.
just need to work on that and have a little bit more capacity, but I like doing it with the breathe. That helps open up that lung airway. Okay, thank you. That was awesome. How was that for you guys? Was it good? Put it in the chat. Okay, so my next favorite is Citrus Bloom. It smells like a perfume. It is springtime. It is amazing. Chelsea loves it. We were given this roller bottle of it at an event, and we were like rolling this all over ourselves. It's very uplifting. Yeah. Dumping. It's very peaceful and it says tranquility, but it does help with anxious feelings and tension feelings. So it just makes you feel like amazing. If you've ever smelled, so wild orange, grapefruit, lavender, Roman chamomile is very calming, and magnolia. I put this magnolia flower here because I love it. We have a tree in our backyard and it's very, very soothing. It's balancing. You'll love the smell. The other one I love, can I say I love them all? You won't believe me. Is cheer. I have it in my car. I always smell like it. Chelsea's like, you smell like cheer. Because I have an aroma bracelet, like my kids make these, and we put the oils on them and it lasts for a while. Cheer smells like a warm drink of root beer to me. And warm sounds weird, but it is warming because it has the clove and nutmeg and vanilla, ginger, cinnamon. Like that's the warming part. The uplifting part is that wild orange. It's incredibly yummy. And I want to eat it. I don't think this one's for internal though. Has that delicious. It is really good. Very warming though. An amazing one is Margot's on here. Is there a Marcos on here? This oil is sourced from Brazil. I think Marcos is on here from Brazil if he is here. Say hello if you are. But this is sourced from, this is Copaiba. Actually, Marcos, if you are on here, I need to settle a debate. My husband he knows Marcos from, oh, he might have gotten off, but he knows Marcos from when he served a church mission down in Brazil. He lived there for 2 years and he knows Marcos from there. But I need to know if it's pronounced Copaiba or Copaiba because people say it different It bugs me. But this has the chemical compounds. This is very compared to CBD oil. Have you ever heard of that? Very calming effects. This does not have those cannabinoids that are those psychoactive cannabinoids in it, but it has a complete structure. So let's see if I can pronounce this. Nope. I don't think I can, but the sesquiterpenes plus this caryophyllene, I did it, is very, very calming to your system. It actually is really good at inflammation and taking that out, which is painful in your body. So I use it for my pain blends that I make, and then they have it in a deep blue complex. But this is huge, and I can't like say these things properly, but like this is huge for anxiety and any depression, things that come into the brain. It's a very good brain health oil. So yeah, if my friend Tanner's on here too, she might have something to say about it. She used to sell pharmaceuticals and kind of knows that she may not be feeling well. Are you here, Tanner? Okay, if you are, you're welcome to share what you know about it. It's very like having I don't know, like a drug, but not a drug. It's the healthy version. So yeah, she may not be feeling well. So just know that it's very compared to CBD oil, but it does not have those side effects because it doesn't have the psychoactive cannabinoids that are in there. So the BCP has a neuroprotective benefit when consumed. So this is a huge oil, and it comes from Brazil. So you see these. I have it in a touch form, which I like to roll on when I'm feeling anxious. And you can also diffuse it, but it's an amazing oil. So, and she can put it in the chat if she doesn't feel like, yeah, my mom was talking about her broken hip, put it under the tongue. Oh, there was somebody else who also used it under the tongue every single day. It's a little bit warmer, so you want to drink water right after. But if you put oils under your tongue that are consumable, it actually goes into your bloodstream quite quickly. But this girl had an effect that she wasn't getting angry every day. Like after a little while of taking it every day, she wasn't getting angry. Chelsea, do you have any thoughts on adaptive oil? Because I know we all love this one. I have a roller too, and it is out. I also have the capsules. Just to quickly mention another meltdown I was having. And it was nighttime and I could not sleep. I had to go take this. This has GABA in it, which is very, very powerful. I'm going to say this. Hopefully there's no compliant people that are watching me, but I feel like it's like a liquid Xanax. I've never taken a Xanax, but if you do, this is like an antidepressant for me. And it really helps calm me down and snap me out of it. So, do you have any thoughts on adaptive, Chelsea? And how you would use it?
Yeah, I would use it at night in the evening to relax and unwind when I'm feeling anxious or stressed. I like to keep it in my purse, and anytime I'm starting to feel like overwhelmed or my chest tighten, I put it on, and it has I think it's the magnolia in there. It's like this smell that is so like addicting to me. It's also in citrus bloom. Like I keep going back for more. Like I put it on and smell, and then like I want to put it on and smell and then tell other people to smell me, because it just is like it just does something for my brain that is so relaxing and good. So I like using it in the evening, and anytime I feel stressed, the only time I wouldn't use it is when I need to be like on and like go and ready to do something, because it does relax you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can see that copaiba, however we say it, is also in here. So again, that calming effect. And then lavender has chemical compounds that's very calming. It's just really, it's really soothing for those who are really in need of something when they have those moments where they have to reach for something. And it also, just for October, they have it to where if you order a certain amount, that you can actually get the bath oil. I want to bathe in that. Chelsea,
You do. I
Chelsea
know
does.
I left it upstairs. I meant to grab it, but it's so relaxing. Your bathroom's kind of like a milky white almost, and then it's like you're bathing in Adaptive. It's very relaxing, and a little bit goes a long way. I just put like a capful in and stir it around, and it's super nice. Also, white girl status, I say Copaiba, so it's probably wrong because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Did he comment yet?
No, he was here, then he left, so I don't think he
Okay.
heard your question.
It's probably, he works late too, so.
Yeah.
All right. Again, Chelsea, I do want you to share a little bit about Intune, and then she's going to share a little bit about tapping with us and the effects that that can have on releasing our emotions, because we don't want that spiral to happen and all of this to stay inside, which can happen with kids as well. So the Intune oil has amorous, patchouli, frankincense, lime, ylang ylang, ilahani. I don't know how to say that. Lahani. Oh, it's sandalwood oil and Roman chamomile. So again, things you love. But we scanned her and she needed that Intune oil, and I massaged her back with it. And yeah, just tell us your experience with Intune and a few oils. I think I had other oils too, but you really liked that one the best.
Yeah, I did. So it was about a year ago, and I was really sick with Lyme. And beyond my physical pain, my spirit was just really broken at the time. I was really discouraged and I didn't feel well at all. I didn't feel like myself emotionally. And Kim, just in a way to serve me, came over and she's like, I'm going to scan you. She brought over her iToby scanner and scanned me. And she put on probably 4 or 5 things on my back, Intune being one of them. And you guys, I'm literally obsessed. I don't know if like an oil could be more special to me because it was so life-changing for me at the time. She put it on, she massaged in my back, she left, and then I just felt like myself again for the first time in a really long time. My husband came home and I was like, had been in like kind of a depressed, discouraged state. And I was like bantering back and forth with him and joking around. And I was cooking dinner and I was being productive. And he was like, literally, who are you? You're yourself again. I was like, I don't know. Kim like came over and scanned me and she rubbed some stuff on me. And he's like, whatever it was, just buy it because this is amazing. And I am a huge fan of what's going on here. So I got some and I always have it now with me. And it just really helped me feel centered and calm and like myself again. And it was what I needed at the time. So it's a focus blend, but it is, I feel like, just really powerful. The other things she rubbed on me at the time were like juniper berry. I don't even remember because this was my favorite. All the other ones from that day. But I do love that one.
Yeah. It's a powerful one, and I focus. Wait till you hear what I was going to say. I struggle with focus, see? And this is something that can help those with focus issues like ADHD. And I would put it on the temples, on the back of the brainstem, like where my Cherie was telling us to do the other oils. That can really help get into those brain areas. So if you want to explain a little bit about
Yes.
has anyone done EFT? It's emotional freedom technique. It's called tapping to a lot of people. Yeah, I've done it. It's very simple and something that you can do again to help calm your system or help your kids do it. Yeah, tell us a little bit about what we should do.
Okay. So tapping allows the brain and the body to release stress and negative emotions, as well as calm and regulate your central nervous system. It combines cognitive behavioral therapy with pressure on specific acupressure points, and it helps with anxiety, PTSD, and when combined with oils, it is called essential oil tapping technique, or EOTT. And it helps you release negative thought patterns and emotions and create new thought patterns and emotions. And something that's really cool, there's a recent scientific study that shows a promising connection between tapping with altering gene expression. So what that means is we all have genes in our body. Some are great, some are not so great. And if we consider it like a loaded gun, like what bullets are our each of our guns loaded with, is it cancer? Is it autoimmunity? Is it depression? We all have a gun that's loaded with something. And just because our gun is loaded with something, if we have lots of like autoimmunity in a family, doesn't mean that you are destined to have autoimmunity. It means that's what your gun is loaded with. And gene expression, when we pull the trigger, it's because of a lot of environmental factors. It's because of really poor emotional health management. If you're not good at managing your emotions, that has a really high connection to autoimmunity. People with autoimmunity feel like they're in fight or flight. They don't know how to manage their emotions well. So what we're seeing with tapping is that it's really helping alter gene expression. So just because that your gun is loaded with those things doesn't mean that they ever have to express themselves. You have control over that. There's a really great book called The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton that talks about that more. So what I'm going to show you today is how to tap through something. You can tap through so many things. It's really empowering for your kids. So I'm going to take Intune. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my fingertips like this, because I'm about to tap with my fingertips. Just put it all over.
I'm using
And
Copaiba.
What'd you say?
Oh, I was using Copaiba because I can't find my Intune.
Okay. Okay. So you could tap for anything, you guys. One time we were in a car and somebody hit us, and I immediately felt my nervous system become so dysregulated, and I just started tapping through my emotions. And it was so empowering to have a tool, not only for myself, but for my kids who were super freaked out too. I was like, tap with mommy, we're gonna get through this. It's very empowering to have something to kind of reclaim that control in your body. So what I want you to think about right now is that moment you come home and you're like hiding in your closet because you're replaying a moment that didn't go how you wanted it to go. You didn't show up how you wanted to show up, or what you said or did just like wasn't really aligned with who you are, or you're just like have social anxiety. Something didn't go right. Okay. So take a deep breath, shake it off. We're going to start with tapping the side of your hand. Our intention is to let go of this experience. Close your eyes, relax. I give myself permission to feel what I am feeling. Move to tapping your eyebrows. Things did not go as planned. To the cheeks. Thinking about it makes me feel really, really uncomfortable. To the forehead. In this discomfort, I give myself grace. Take a deep breath. Move to the chin. I do not have to do everything perfect. To the chest. I am allowed to make mistakes or say the wrong thing. Move to your back. It does not change my worth or my value. Move to your head. I give myself grace to try again. Rub your hands together. Wipe it off. And I like to literally go like this, you guys. Let it go. Like when I have energy I don't like, I literally like imagine pulling it for myself and go, whoo, whoo, whoo. Throw it off of me. Don't want that anymore. Come back to this moment. Shake it off. Forgive yourself for those feelings. Let it go. And if you have a kid that has anxiety or struggles with being away from you, I have one and I like to help them tap through it when they're having really big emotions. And I say, tap with me. And they go, I don't want to. I said, I know you, but we're going to calm down. We're going to tap. So I say, tap with me. You say, I feel afraid right now. I feel afraid right now. And I have a family who loves me so much. I have a Heavenly Father who loves me so much. It is okay to have big emotions. I am safe in my body. And we go through and we tap the points. And I just make it up on the fly and help them feel really encouraged, help them find their breath to slow down and do those things. It can be really empowering and really healing, just to have another thing in your arsenal to help control your nervous system. Because one of my biggest things when I started having a breakdown of my health with Lyme is that I was emotionally unhinged for a really long time. And I needed to find ways to be in my power, to take back my emotions, to handle big emotions in a healthy way, because that's such a big part of health. is half physical, half emotional. We're spiritual beings, and it's so important to manage that well.
It's very powerful. Thank you for walking us through that. I really like that. I feel calm. Does everybody feel calm?
Mhm.
It's late here, so we're ready for bed. But almost. I like how you walk your kids through that. I think that's really powerful too. For the other ones that have grandkids, they can walk them through something like that. Some kids are resistant. You can even pretend and do it to them. Like you're just kind of tapping around. It just brings different awareness to their body, right? So you can kind of do it for them if they're resisting. Sometimes we do smelly hugs. So we rub oils on our hands and then kind of rub around, and I just kind of rub around them. They have no idea what I'm doing, but it helps to calm the system down. Thank you for sharing that. It's really powerful stuff. So another one I want to talk about is a protective blend. A lot of times our boundaries are crossed. This for emotional healing, we can use On Guard. Everyone's probably heard of On Guard. Who's used On Guard? Probably a lot. And thank you, Doina. That was sweet. The On Guard it smells like Christmas because it has clove, cinnamon, orange, rosemary, a little eucalyptus in there. And I love On Guard because I did this experiment. You can see how protective it is on this moldy bread. Look at this bread down here. This was from August 30th to September 20th, so not a full month, but you can see how protective the On Guard oil was on this side of the bread. And even the whole thing didn't get as moldy as this other one that did not have it. So you can take this aromatically, topically, and internally. The Breathe and the On Guard are great to use when kids are getting sick. There's things getting passed around in the diffuser. I like to put that in there. But On Guard is powerful. That's all I have to say about it. It is warm, so you probably want to dilute that. Another one that's really, we talked about that wheel in the beginning, the tree oils. This one has a calming and peaceful feeling because it's like you're walking in the woods, smelling all those fir trees, the inspiring aroma. Have you ever heard of forest bathing? It's a really good thing when you can't get outside very much, or we work a lot, or we're running everywhere. Sometimes you just need that grounding feeling, and the trees have that grounding feeling because they're very strong rooted, and that's what they do for you, is help you feel balanced. Does anyone on here have any troubles with sleep, or feel like your sleep is like you can't stay asleep, or you can't get to sleep? Does anyone have trouble with that? Chelsea and I have some stories about this one. I think my sleep system's up here, but there is a whole sleep system. The Serenity capsules, again, I believe there's a lot of, okay, the pharmaceutical route, you have a lot of side effects to that. Okay. There was a story of someone who was on a sleeping pill, drove to the store, ate a pie, drove home, had no idea. The cops actually have told us that there's a lot of DUIs that happen on sleep drugs. So be careful what you're using. There's a lot of side effects on that. This sleep complex right here has tart cherry in it. Chelsea, quickly tell us about the L-theanine. Is that what it is? And the stick. Oh, my stick is probably in the kids' room, but I love Serenity. It's so calming. It has ylang ylang in it, lavender, cedarwood, coriander, marjoram, Roman chamomile, vetiver, and sandalwood. But what was your experience with the stick, Chelsea?
So Kim and I were in Charleston. We went to Expo to see some of the new products, and they're passing them around. Everyone's sniffing and trying, and I'm like, "Oh, I want to smell that stick. Can I see it?" And they pass it to me, and I pop off the cap, and Kim goes, "Chelsea, what you doing with that?" I was like, I'm just gonna try." And she was like, "I would be careful, like it's really strong." I was like, "I'm just gonna do a little dabby dab on my wrist." And she's like, "Okay, like suit yourself." I did it, and I kid you not, you guys, like 5 minutes later, I was like,
I was
was wrong.
wide-eyed. I was like, why are you putting that on you right now? Don't do it, because we had a 2-hour drive home.
I thought she was being a little over worried about it. I was like, it's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna do a tiny little dab on my wrist, and it had like
I'm dramatic, so.
that vetiver in it, and it was really, or that not vetiver, valerian in it, and it was really strong. And I am factually so excited to get it in the mailbox to put it on my kids to put them to sleep at night, because they struggle for like an hour plus to get to sleep sometimes. So I cannot wait to put it on them. But it was so strong. And the L-theanine and the lavender they have a really cool study that they did on it, and it compared it to, what was the pharmaceutical? Was it it was a very common anxiety medication, the most common on the market, which name escapes me at the moment, but it usually takes 6 weeks to work to get the anti-anxiety effects. And they compared the L-theanine and the lavender to that. And after 2 weeks, in the clinical trial, the patients reported the same anti-anxiety effects on the L-theanine and the lavender. And it was only 2 weeks instead of 6 weeks that they had the same anti-anxiety results, and they didn't have to go to a pharmaceutical that has all the negative side effects and everything. So that was really cool. I love the studies. I love the science.
Yeah, thank you for remembering that. Sometimes those don't stick with me. I remember the power of things. I have a hard time recalling like the names of things, but yeah, it was a very powerful one. Yes, I think a lot of us have trouble with sleep.
Yes, Tanner, Lexapro. Thank you. I was like, where's Tanner? She knows our.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yes, it
it.
was Lexapro in the study.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she can also tell us has terrible side effects.
Yeah, Davina, none of them work for me. I wake back up, so I don't take them. Ozax. Is it Prexia? Maybe, yeah. Which one was it? Lexapro? I don't know the names of those.
Yeah, it was Lexapro.
Oh, Karen's enjoying her sleep system. Oh, it's so good.
Davina, melatonin can have the opposite effect for some people, actually. And yeah, the dosing can be off, but what's nice about this is this has some of the precursors to melatonin in it, like what you need to make melatonin, so you can make your own versus having to take it like that.
Yeah, sometimes it can also, your body will get used to it and not have the right effect either. Yeah, there's a huge benefit to Serenity. Where's my little bottle? So I actually have a bottle of Serenity to give away. This is a 5 milliliter, so it has about 85 drops in it. But I think sleep is so good for our hormonal health. If you have better deep sleep, you will actually, I think they even said lose more weight because you're more energetic during the day. I think for me, it's just having a deep sleep because I'm in fight or flight a lot with kids, and any noise, I am just awake. But even if my kids wake up in the night and I've taken or put this on, sometimes I'll take these, or put Serenity on my feet. You can put them on your feet. On the big toe is the brain reflex point behind. There's another person entering. But it helps me have like a more calm sleep. So a lot of times I don't think I get that deep sleep. The components in here, the chemical components, are going to help you do that. So for the giveaway, I didn't think this through. Here's what I'm going to do. I know how I'm going to do it. Just a second. Welcome all. I'm picking a random number. Hold on 1 second, but you are going to win a Serenity, and I can ship it to whoever is out of my area. I'm trying to do that. Okay. 7. So 1. Wait, how am I counting? Hold on. Not her. 1, 2, 7. Heather Donai. How do you say your name, Heather? Are you able to show your face? I will send you this Serenity, and you can enjoy a restful sleep. Please text whoever invited you, and I will get the information and get this out to you. I'm going to wrap this up a little bit here, but I hope that you found something that is empowering to you. Of course, the oils are of benefit, but if it's not something you're interested in, that's fine. They also have wholesale memberships. So this is free. Wholesale membership is free with a kit of oils. And then it comes with a diffuser. So this is the Aroma Essentials kit that we've been talking about. Most of those oils, some of them are not in this kit, like Copaiba. Oh, Heather had to come back in. And this gives you 25% discount with a Wellness Advocates link. So Chelsea, myself, Cherie, whoever invited you, Tanner's on here, whoever invited you, they will have a discount link for you. So that this one is $155 for those base oils. The majority of what we talked about, and it gives you a savings of $57 and a whole year membership. There is a special that ends in October. So I do want to share this with you. Okay, let me try to get the whole thing here. The Aroma Essentials kit, we can make a custom kit for you, which this is going to be for your emotional support. The sleep system is in here. So you already have Serenity in this Aroma Essentials kit, which is amazing. And then we've added the stick. I sleep so quickly when I use a stick. The Serenity Complex is in here. The Intune oil that was so powerful for Chelsea and my focus. The Copaiba, the roll-on. I like the roll-on because then I can put it on my brainstem and the back of my neck to help my nerves. And then with this, all of this together, it's $264.50 wholesale. You do get that off. Look at what I did there. But you also are getting an additional bonus this month. So we're going to give you an adaptive bath oil, an extra adaptive. This you will definitely be diffusing all the time when you smell it. So you get 2 free items. And then if you are a new member, then you will also receive a pedal diffuser. So you get 2 diffusers, all of these amazing oils, and a full wellness consult with one of your wellness advocates that you sign up with. The reason why is we want to make sure that we're customizing to what your needs are, and that you can have a regimen that you're not just going to sit this on the shelf and not know what to do with. So we appreciate you being here. There is a refer a friend program that when you do sign up and you want to become an advocate like us, you can just have a customer account like you would a Costco account. But if you do want to share with others, because it's empowering you, if you're like, I am sleeping well and this is working so good, here, come use this. There is a refer a friend program where you can share and earn an income with that. So if that interests you, it's very simple to do with your link. And there's also more possibilities on building an income with doTERRA. We've replaced our income for a long time. My husband and I worked together for about 7 years. And then I was like, you got to go do something else. So he's in real estate now and I am enjoying doing this. But if you want to feel empowered in your health and finances, this is something that we are here to help you with. So let me put this screen back up here. And if you have any questions, please put it in the chat and we can, let me stop the screen share actually. Did that work? Where are y'all? Hold on, I have no idea what I'm doing. If you have any questions, please text one of us or put it in the chat. I will leave this up for a minute. Did everyone get their questions answered in the chat? Did you see any, Chelsea, when I was talking? We just talked to Davina. Davina, are you the one I met at the library? I think you are. Thank you for getting on. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Not sure, no. Well, hi, Davina. Glad you are here.
She said, can they share the website and links to these products I want to share with sister and friends?
Oh,
And Davina was invited by Tanner, she says.
oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Right, Tanner? She will have a link for you. That kit is a special kit. So I'm gonna text her and she can make a custom kit for you. And let me just stop our recording here.